Fucking beer time! Hey everybody, it's Jay from Bullshit Corner. In this video we are going to replace the power steering hose in my 2002 BMW 325 Xi all-wheel drive. Being an all-wheel drive, this is not going to be a fun job, trust me. This is going to be a bitch. I've already looked at where the connections are, and one of them's in a pretty evil place. Alright, so here's the power steering hose right down there. You can see it's been sweating. Fitting up there. That one's... can't even try to hold the light. So there's one fitting right there. And then the other one... anyways, the other one's behind this boot here, and that's going to be a real cocksucker to get at. Not a lot of room, but I got 11/16 wrench in there, and I managed to bust her free. So I'm going to remove that one, because this is the easiest one of them both. That one in the back is going to be a fucking cocksucker. I'm going to curse and swear and probably have a couple beers and probably cry a little bit, but we'll get her done. Alright, got one end off. Draining it into my drip pan. Make sure you got a drip pan handy. Underneath the alternator down there, if you could see, I'll try to zoom in on it, right where my wrench is on the nut. And that's where the power steering line goes into the rack and pinion. So, like I said, she's a real bitch. I did break it loose, and I'm gonna pull it out now. There's the hose inside there, both ends. Fuck, I should put that end in there as well. And it's connected at the end there. And it's a little bit of work. The power steering hose change easier. This plastic piece that goes on the back of your alternator does actually come off, and that opens up a whole new world of space down there, as you can see. I'll try to get the light in there a little bit better. You can see that's where the power steering line came out of, right up there. And when you remove it, you want to make sure you get this copper washer off, because on your banjo bolt there's going to be two of these crush washers, one on the outside and one on the inside. I'm going to show you how to do that when we put the new hose on. If this is still stuck on the rack and pinion steering when you go to put it in, you're going to get a leak, and you're going to have to like tear all this shit down again, which is fucking a lot of work to change a hose. So getting that hose off with a shitty situation deserves a frickin' beer. I need a hooker.
I don't see any escort services. Sorry about that.
How am I supposed to get laid?
I didn't find any escort services.
Like that. You're gonna put it through the hose. Other crush washer, copper crush washer is gonna be like that. That's how it's gonna go. Crush washer on each side, as you can see. You gotta be very careful about that. That's the way it's gotta go. Otherwise you're gonna have leaks, and like I said, it's a bitch to get in there. Also, on this end, right there, your kit should have came with a small O-ring, and that O-ring's got to go on there as well. Alright, so I got the one hose there, and it's not connected, but we're going to try to fish it through now. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a bitch. I really don't want to do this, but I think the only way I'm going to do that is get the alternator off. In order to get the alternator off, I gotta remove the clutch fan and the fan housing so I get at the fucking bolts, and this is a fucking nightmare. So easy to get out. Well, it wasn't really easy to get out, but I gotta be able to get my hands in there. I can't do it with one hand because the bolt goes in kind of crooked, and I can't angle that by myself. So fuck, I'm gonna have to try to get both hands in there, and it's not looking good. For fuck's sakes. After 2 hours of trying to get the power steering hose and the rack and pinion through that small hose. I'm fat, I know it, and I got fucking big hands, and she ain't going. So, as much as I hate to say it, it leaves one option. Sometimes you have to admit defeat. Whoever thought putting that in would be so much fucking work. Alright, so here we are now the next day. I'm already 3 beer into this job and just working a couple hours a day. Trying to get it figured out. Here we go. We've moved the fan and the alternator to get at that. So the next point, now that I got all this room, my fat hand can stick in there. We're gonna hopefully screw that in. Wish me luck. There it is, right down there. Finally got it in. Had to remove the alternator, but it was so worth it in the end. Alright, here we are underneath. New hose is put in. Alright, since there's no fluid left in it, we fill it up. I'm actually going to fill it up pretty full, only because we're going to have to purge it. Do the steering lock from side to side, recheck it afterwards, so that'll be enough to get me going quickly. It's going to be foamy as fuck. Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of air in there, and that's going to take a little while to get out of it, but it'll come out, don't worry about it. She'll settle down, and I'll probably have to add some more. So even right now it's on the low side. I don't know about you guys, but getting that power steering hose in deserves a fucking beer. So far, 4 beers on this project. So if you're a skinny little fucker and got little small hands, you can most likely fit your hand between the alternator and the frame to screw it in. I'm fat and I got big fucking hands, and shit like that just isn't fucking happening. In the end, removing the alternator took an extra 20 minutes. Yesterday I fucked around for almost 2 hours trying to get it in through a small hole. So yeah, at this point you can do what you want. You can move the alternator, or you can try to get your hand in there, do whatever you want. But I got it in. I'm gonna drink a fucking beer and fuck off. That's what I'm gonna do. Cheers.